So obviously there's been a lot of discussion about Stellar Blade and the character design of the main protagonist, Eve. Now this is a tweet that I covered in a previous video from a few days ago, uploaded on my main channel. Now when I initially saw this tweet, I thought that this person complaining about feeling awkward about liking Stellar Blade was a reference to people trying to bully and guilt trip you for liking this game and its character designs. However, we have seen some context, an actual clip from Reforged Gaming providing their explanation of this awkward feeling they're having for liking Stellar Blade, and it actually turns out that they are upset about the fact that a lot of people are enjoying the design of this character, and that is making them feel uncomfortable about liking this game and supporting it. So let's watch this clip real quick.
I would like this to sort of be a situation where I can trace the history on this, right? It all started harmlessly enough with jokes about the main character's backside, and it has quickly morphed, and it's evolved into something very different. Something that myself and others have expressed a bit of awkwardness or even an annoyance about.
Bro is petrified by the female form, by the way. Yes, we live in 2024 where people are actually feeling ashamed to admit that they like the character designs of video game characters and to appreciate fan service and attractive designs. It's kind of pathetic. If you let those things deter you from playing a game or supporting a game, that's on you. I mean, honestly, it's really not that deep. If you're letting people get to you like that because they're going to judge you, or people on Twitter, that type of person is going to judge you, that's your problem. That's your fault for letting them get to you like that.
Some of you are going so full that I kind of don't want to be associated with the fandom around this game because it's getting a little weird, maybe even a little gross.
Well, I don't think the fan base wants to be associated with you, quite frankly. If you think this is weird and gross because people are liking this design, I think that's a complete misdirection of what's going on here. What I think is very weird in this situation involving Stellar Blade is the reaction of people who are upset about it. So obviously there's a lot of people who are speaking positively and celebrating the design of Eve, right? And I think a lot of that is the Streisand effect, because a lot of people feel very defensive of this character design because there is countless people, including game journalists, attacking this design. We have seen in the past couple of weeks, game journalists claim that this design and its creators are incels who have never seen women in real life, despite the fact that its director is married to a woman who is on the art team. We have seen journalists claim that Stellar Blade and its character designs is literally killing women in real life. We have also seen Twitter users look at the design of Eve and say, despite the fact that she is a 3D scan of an adult Korean model, they claim that liking this character is predatory because they believe that it looks like a child. The people complaining about Stellar Blade are the weirdos. They're the ones making this design the focus. They are hyper-focusing on her design to complain about it and demonize not only the design, but also the franchise and anyone who is interested in it.
To the point that people are even being misrepresented. You know, people are being accused of complaining or being offended with very, very minimal pushback. They might just sort of think that the character is a little over the top. And I want to walk...
Over the top like what? I always love that. Explain to me what's over the top. These people never really have an explanation. You don't like the fan service, you don't like the designs or the outfits that Eve is wearing. Guess what? Don't play the game. That's it. Problem solved. If these things make you feel uncomfortable, well, you know what? Personal problem. And it can be solved by simply avoiding this game that you have absolutely no requirement to play or engage with in the first place. Now, of course, a lot of the comments surrounding Stellar Blade can be countered by the public reception of Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 was openly praised by everyone. And of course, we know the memes coming out of that, right? So people were cheering on the sex scenes featuring bears and things like that. And also the fact that you can also have full nude shots of these characters. You can see their actual genitalia. those things were demonized, but anime-style games, whether out of Korean studios or Japanese studios, have been demonized for far less. And in this case, people have openly cheered on and made memes and constantly posted about the bare sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3, but here they are complaining about Stellar Blade because she has an attractive character design. These people are so unserious, it's hard to understand why they have such a problem with this game. But continuing on, let's listen to the rest of this clip.
Through the backstory. And then I want to talk about what is happening right now, but I also want to give you my position on this, along with some worrying predictions about where this dialogue is going to take us. But my hope would be that gamers and gaming outlets and the general public would just see this is a small minority that are hyper-focused on the main character's body to the point of making it kind of weird for the rest of us. So how did all of this start?
I don't want to hear your perspective on how all of this started, because you are trying to blame gamers and fans of Stellar Blade and those who are appreciating the character design as some kind of boogeyman to blame controversy on, when it is in fact a lot of people who hate this game and also game journalists who are trying to demonize this character design and demonize this game as a result. They are trying to make out the fans of this game, the people interested in ordering this game, as some kind of an attack on women. They believe that this character design is something offensive, unrealistic, or in many cases misogynistic. That's what they're claiming, and all of it is a complete joke. And I don't understand why people are so sensitive about this particular game. And again, circling back to titles like Baldur's Gate 3, people did not have this severe issue. There were plenty of people pointing out the hypocrisy of how people supported elements of Baldur's Gate 3, but there was overall a great level of support. The people who are normally calling you a porn addict for liking character designs like Eve were gleefully playing Baldur's Gate 3, and of course, now they are continuing their outrage against basically anything that looks any bit like a Japanese or Asian-styled character, and they're doing that with Stellar Blade. And this whole situation is just, again, disappointing to see all these people attacking this game. I predict that Stellar Blade is going to be a very big success. I feel like it was going to have a lot of legs on its own before all of this outrage. But with this outrage, we're going to see more of the Streisand effect like we saw with the Sweet Baby Ink Detected curation group on Steam, where people complaining about it are just bringing more attention and also polarizing this subject and making people feel like their support of Stellar Blade is going to be a direct way to respond to many values that people are expressing that they don't support. Like people attacking Stellar Blade and its character design, they feel like supporting the game is a way to combat those complaints and to win these arguments and to feel like they're supporting the right type of game in this industry. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed.